Hello, Hyattsville, and welcome to our Employee Spotlight series. I'm here today with our Race and Equity Officer, Shakira Louimarre. Shakira, welcome.
Hi, Cindy.
We're here because at the end of 2025, the city achieved an important milestone with the adoption of the Race and Equity Plan. This was built by the city's volunteer Race and Equity Task Force and represents many hours of research and stakeholder interviews and community input. And this plan will be used going forward to inform the city's operations related to equity. So I wanted to ask, now that we have the plan, what are the next steps?
Next steps. Well, I first just want to really say congratulations to the task force, to residents, just to the whole community. This is really a milestone. Next steps when it comes to the equity plan, I would say data. One of the key tenets to any type of equity work or analysis is taking a look at what the data actually says. You know, so often we've made decisions, and we, the greater we, have made decisions based on assumptions, based on bias at times, based on how things have always been. But we have been working with Dewberry engineers, a team of experts, to really take a look at how the city collects data, analyzes data, and uses that data for informed decision making, which is just really central to any type of equity work. And so as we kind of close out that project and look to implementing some of their recommendations, that'll be really central to progressing the equity plan.
Yeah, you can't improve what you don't measure.
Exactly.
Can you tell us why equity is important in the city's decision making?
Yeah. Equity is a word that's often thrown around, right? We hear it used a lot, but it's more than a buzzword. When we talk about equity, we're talking about the process of decision making, and we're also talking about the outcomes. And when we think about equity as an outcome, what we really want to make sure is that regardless of race, social class, markers of identity, people across the board are having access to equal outcomes. And when I think about equity in Hyattsville specifically, we don't want to take a one size fits all approach to things. We really want to kind of narrow in our gaze and adjust that approach, based on what folks need.
Yeah, the favorite image of equity that you shared with me, Shakira, is an image of three people at a fence, all different sizes. If we give them all equal stools, the people who are shorter still can't see over the fence, so you have to give them taller stools for them to have the same access.
Exactly. And one of my favorite things about that image, and especially thinking about that in terms of Hyattsville, is oftentimes people kind of stop at giving folks equal stools. And so you get the equal stools and everyone's the same height. But I feel like the city truly has a vision of one day that fence, that gate, what blocks our vision, that'll be gone one day. And I really feel like there's a commitment there, and it's amazing to see.
Yeah, that's a beautiful image. As we work toward that vision, can you talk about some of the things the city's already doing related to equity?
Oh yeah, definitely. And so we talked about the equity plan itself, which is a major step. This focus on data with the Dewberry report, and some of the other things that I'm really proud of the city's work with are cultural conversations, and just a commitment to honoring heritages and various cultural expressions in the city. Those have been really amazing. Thinking a little bit about moving forward, creating an equity toolkit and kind of like a one-stop shop repository of data, research, access to demographic information to really give folks the tools that they need. And when I say folks, decision makers, council, staff, the tools that they need to analyze for equity, and just continuing the city's relationship with the Government Alliance on Racial Equity, which really helps us in terms of training, normalizing conversations around equity, making sure that we have a common understanding, use common language, and just really moving forward with those type of things.
That's great. I'm hoping that you've inspired some people. So they're asking now, what can I do to help? How can people get involved?
Yes. So love that question. Definitely look into joining or getting involved with the Race and Equity Task Force. Even if you don't have the time or capacity to join as a committee member, just sitting in on meetings, keeping abreast of what's going on, using your voice, keeping abreast of what's happening on Hello Hyattsville is one major way. And community engagement and community voice is just so essential. And so using your voice just across the many ways that Hyattsville allows you to do so, that's a major way.
That's great. Work with, not for.
Exactly.
All right. Well, you can learn more about all these programs and projects at hyattsville.org/equity. Thank you for joining us, Shakira, and thank you everybody for tuning in.
Oh, thanks for having me.